Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. Today I filmed this look using minimal eyeshadows, a nice fluffy lash, a strong wing liner. If you'd like to see how I achieved this makeup look, please keep on watching. So I'm going to start off by tanning my skin with the same Tropez self-tan bronzing lotion for the face. This comes with a little mini mitt. I just dispense it right on the mitt and then I go in and apply it directly to my face. Now that that's done, I'm going to let that set. For my primer, I am going to be using the Mercier Foundation Primer. This is a hydrating primer, so I'm actually going to skip moisturizer and apply this as my primer and moisturizer in one. I'm also going to be applying an under eye cream. This is the Kiehl's Eye Alert. So while my skin sets, I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera and I will be back. All right, so I have my brows on. I've prepped my eyes using the Louise Eyeshadow Base in the color number 2. For today's eye look, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes Complexion Inspired Eyeshadow Palette. This is what it looks like. So this first color I'm going to dip into is Swan. I'm going to dust that all over my eyelid with a MAC 217 brush. This is going to set the eye primer. For this step, you can use a face powder if you don't have a skin tone eyeshadow. And you want to run that all the way from your lash line to your brow bone. So now I'm going to go into the color Seashell, which is this pale taupe nude color. And I'm going to be using my MAC 224 brush. I'm going to run that right into the crease of my eye. I'm starting to warm up the crease and create a bit of definition. You want to make sure you're blending out as you go so you avoid any harsh lines. If you have hooded eyes like I do, and by that I mean if this part of your eye comes down a little bit, you want to make sure you're bringing your crease color high enough so that you can see the shape. And in doing this step, you're going to minimize your hooded eye slightly. So far these eyeshadows are blending out nicely. The color's really pretty. So you want to avoid bringing it too high. You want to keep this area lighter. That will be our brow bone highlight. Now I'm going to go into my next shade, Maple. It's a little bit more of a brown than Seashell is. So concentrating that closer to the actual crease of my eye. So this is adding a little bit more depth. On the outer edge here, I'm bringing the color Maple at a 45-degree angle towards my bottom lash line here. And then I'm connecting it to the color I applied in the crease and blending that into Seashell. When you're working with darker colors, you want to make sure you're using a brush that's a little bit more tapered. That way you have more control of your application. Next, I'll be taking the color Shimmering Pearl, that's up here, and I'm going to apply that on my eyelid. To apply this color, I'm going to use the MAC 239 brush. It's a flat shader brush. I'm going to keep this eye look relatively soft. I'm not going to be adding any darker shade of shadow to this look. I'm going to go right into my eyeliner. I'm going to be using the Maybeline Eyestudio Gel Liner in Blackest Black. To apply this gel liner, I will be using my Stelazzi Angled Mini S203 brush. Always start with a thinner line, that way you can build on it as needed. When doing your wing liner, you want to make sure your face is resting, especially your eyes, because if you raise your eyebrows, it's going to change the shape of your eye. It's going to make it more difficult to create the wing. Now I'm taking my Kat Von D Tattoo liner and I'm going over that gel liner just to sharpen the wing and to make it more black. Now I will be applying my mascara. I will be using my Bourjois mascara Twist Up the Volume. For my lashes today, I will be using my own brand of lashes in the style Enchantress. This style has not been launched yet, but stay tuned for that. When removing your lashes from the tray, you want to be very careful when you're taking them off of the plastic. You want to use either a pair of tweezers or a lash applicator to gently remove the edge so that you can grab onto the lash and then slowly pull it off. Whenever you're applying lashes, you want to make sure the lash fits your eye perfectly, so you want to trim any excess. First thing I'm going to do is measure the lash by applying it without any glue onto my eye. You want to make sure you're cutting enough so it doesn't poke your eye on the inner corner, but at the same time, you don't want to be taking off too much where there's a gap. Now I'm going to apply my glue. I'm using the Duo Brush On Glue. So I'm just grabbing the outer corner, gently taking off that edge, and then with my fingers taking the rest of the lash and removing it from the tray. The lash does have a little bit of a nub on the very edge of it, so even if you don't have to trim it to fit your eye, you will need to remove those little pieces. With this specific glue, you don't really need to wait for it to dry. Both my lashes and lash applicator are available for purchase, and I will link that down below for you guys. So now that the lashes are applied, I'm going to take a very small amount of mascara, and just on the very tip of the wand, I'm going to push my natural lash into the false lash. So I'm not running it all the way through the hair, I'm simply pushing it into the base of the lash. That way there's no separation from my lash to the false lash. Now that my eyes are done, I'm going to move on to my complexion. Today I will be using the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter Foundation. This is more of a matte foundation. I still want some sort of luminosity to my skin, so I will be applying the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. It's the liquid version of the powder. For my foundation colors, I will be mixing 6 and 7.5. They are both a warm undertone. I'm just taking a smaller brush to apply that on my forehead. This is the Morphe G38. I would say this is about a medium coverage foundation. It does cover well, however, it does still look like skin. Now for my concealer, I will be using the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the color Natural Beige. Now to brighten up my under eyes a little bit more, I will be popping on the color Porcelain in the same concealer, just on the inner corners. Now I will be setting the foundation and concealer with my Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray in Dreamsicle. For my highlight today, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Turn Up the Light Complexion Enhancing Highlighting Palette. So this one is the medium palette, and I also have the tan one. I might have to mix both because I'm thinking that medium might be a little bit light. So I'm going in with the color Glow. I'm going to to also add a little bit of the tan one, the same color called Glow. Now for my blush, I'm going to be using the Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in the color Ballet Slippers. So I just popped a bit of that on the back of my hand, and I'm going to be applying that with my fingers. I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to blend that out. This is a really pretty shade just to add a little bit of warmth to the cheeks without it being too much color. I'm going to set my concealer with the Too Faced Born This Way powder. For my lip color today, I'm going to start by lining my lips with my favorite lip pencil by Gerard Cosmetics in the color Ecstasy. On top of that lip liner, I'm going to be applying my Rebecca Rose Beauty Vinyl Lip Lacquer in Lover's Lane. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. If this is something that you enjoyed watching, please comment down below. Let me know what you would like to see in my next video. Until then, please stay safe and healthy. I love you guys so much. Take care.